Hello from the 757 Spy Flight Deck. Today is moving day. No, I'm not going to move out of the apartment or anything like that, but I'm going to take everything that you see over there and we're going to move it over there. There's several reasons, but the biggest reason, as you can see, there's that brown accent wall, and that accent wall is kind of what I call, brown 1970s young lawyer hot tub look. The wall over there is blue, and as you can see, I've got some blue spotlights there, and those blue spotlights kind of make that wall look good. So if I want to do something on the live stream that doesn't include a green screen, now I've got a really nice white wall with actually some interesting lines around there too, so that might look pretty good. So moving day to day, I've moved the computer once before, and if you remember from a video I did about 6-7 months ago, cleaning day is also a good thing to do because boy, those computers just attract a lot of dust. So a couple of safety tips to start off with, and one of my biggest ones is get one of these plastic bins things, and this is where you keep all of your tie wraps. You're going to need a lot of them. Another thing is have a couple of these dust buster things. Have an old ratty one here for things that are looking really crap, for stuff other than your screens, but then have a nice new one or something like that too. Finally, cup of coffee, something you like. Have a few snacks already ready to go because you're going to be busy. Things are going to get dirty. You're going to vacuum the carpet and clean up a bunch of dust stuff in the corner. So have your snacks all ready to go too. Oh, and yeah, bring out your vacuum cleaner as well. So as time goes by, I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera, start the camera, and show you where things are. First step, turn off the system, start unpacking some of the wires, do a little bit of dusting as I move stuff off the table, and then start the move. Well, welcome back. It's phase 2 time. As you can see, everything's pretty much out of the corner that it used to be in. And now it's time to start putting things over here. Now, as I was taking everything out of its original position, the equipment, I was basically cleaning literally everything that I possibly could. These computers just get dust all over the place. One of the important things that I think that you got to say about all of this stuff is if you're going to be relocating your computer, take your time. You've only probably got one of these and probably don't have a ton of extra money to be able to replace it. So when you're tearing it apart, it's very important to go super duper slow. Otherwise, you're going to break some wires, and there's no reason to do that. So there is my, as I said in the intro video, my 1970s tan, what did I call it? The young lawyer hot tub look wall. That's going to be a nice dark wall that all of my monitors are going to be in front of. So I think that that's going to be kind of a nice thing. Next step in my process is going to be to put a few things on the table like the monitors, and then I'm going to walk around with that camera and I'm going to go and check some camera angles, because part of the reason that I'm doing this is to design a little live stream world here that looks pretty good. So that is basically halfway through the process. And here we are a few months later, and the project is now, at this point, finally complete. It took a while for several reasons. One of the biggest reasons is I ordered some new parts, and it quite frankly took a few months for some of the parts to arrive. And I'm talking simple stuff like a couple of very specialized cables that needed to arrive, and also some of the new lights that I set up too. So what is it that you're seeing behind me? I think you're going to be surprised. Come on over and take a look. I think you'd be surprised. Those are not really expensive shelves or anything that I bought. Those are actually styrofoam coolers. It's probably fairly well known that I really like pizza from Chicago, and they're shipped in styrofoam coolers. Rather than throw them away or something like that, I actually had been collecting them over months and years, and I'd kind of stacked them up, and I use them just to store junk in. So once I decided to get the spotlights and make a little set, I ended up using those to make really good looking shelves. There's a place up there so my little airplanes can sit there. There's the James Bond Lego Aston Martin DB5. And after I got partnered, I figured, well, I probably ought to have the famous Twitch pillow. So styrofoam coolers make really good set pieces as far as stuff that you're going to put behind you in your live stream studio. Now you could also go and buy a set of really nice shelves and put some together too, but those were free and it's not better than that. You're probably noticing behind the pillow there, it looks like the light kind of changes color. That's just a simple LED floodlight, but because it changes color because the light is close to a white wall. So on the camera over on the live stream setup, it looks like I've got this nice little gradient glow or something like that. So that's just an added advantage. Now, as far as the stuff that's in the shelves, right now it's just the basic junk. Eventually, one of the things that I was going to do is start cleaning up some of the junkier things in there and put a few things that might be a little more visually interesting. Now, obviously, the set behind me is not the biggest part of the show, but it's just something very, very nice to look at, and it's really easy to build. One thing, though, it's kind of far away from me, so that's all the way at the back end of the room, and the live stream is right over there. One of the effects that you get from that is your talent camera, your face camera is in focus. All of that is slightly out of focus. Just kind of makes it look a little bit better. As for the setup, which is right over there, let's flip the camera around. And that's the other way around, and that's basically the live stream setup that I've got set up. The live stream setup that I've got set up, that was really brilliant. One of the things that you can see is Stormy the gaming computer over there, and one of the updates that I've done is a good XLR condenser microphone. That's been working well. Another interesting thing that you might see over my shoulder is I've got the 3 monitors, and one of the monitors is not landscape, it's portrait mode. That's really good for stacking several small applications that you need to have open but don't need to be looking at all the time. That's a really kind of a nice thing to look at. So if you're going to get an extra monitor or something, that's a good thing to do. The only other big update that I've done is a small mirrorless camera. It was a little on the pricey side, but it's a really good quality, and I think that that's one of the nice things. The other thing that you can see is I've got one of the older lights there, and that's just a nice little blue accent light. And that's something that just kind of makes the place look a little bit better. The other thing that I was mentioning at the beginning of all of this is how I wanted to move all of my monitors over against that, not so attractive looking brown wall. That's really been working out pretty good because all of my monitors are a little bit easier to see as opposed to having them in front of a white wall. And that's the new SpyFlight setup. So if you want to see more about what it is that I'm doing behind the scenes, please leave a comment. I do read all the comments here on YouTube. If you would like to join me, I'm over on Twitch virtually every day. And if you really like your video, that's the one place that I have monetized. So subscriber support is always appreciated over on Twitch. And I will look forward to seeing you next time on YouTube and see you in the simulated friendly skies. Thanks for watching.